Hello everyone. Today we are doing maintenance on my 2008 Pathfinder. We are doing a transmission fluid change. This vehicle is at 122,000 miles, I think, and the transmission fluid, I don't think it has been changed before. Maybe it has, I don't remember. I used to take, as long as I owned this vehicle, I took it to a Nissan dealership to do the regular maintenance at the specified intervals and did whatever was needed for each interval. And I looked through this here and see these are Nissan stamps right here. So I took it to Nissan dealerships to do the maintenance for all the intervals here. See that? So I looked through this thing and I didn't see any mention of transmission fluid change that was marked. I know it's mentioned in the intervals every 30,000 miles. So I would assume it was done, maybe not, I have no idea. So it's one of the major things that needs to be changed in the vehicle to keep the transmission going smooth all the time. Now this one is working fine. I don't have any issues with the transmission at all. And I thought if I drain whatever is in the drain pan, the catch pan, if I drain that and just add more to it to keep it to the level that was in before I drained it, it should be better than before, even though now it is fine. So last time I did spark plug change on this vehicle a few months ago, and that got me encouragement to do this part. Although it is a simple thing, but I didn't want to touch any engine parts in vehicles, but now I am, so in the interest of saving money. So anyway, the owner's manual for this vehicle does say here to use, see here, automatic transmission fluid, and it says to use genuine Nissan Matic J ATF. ATF is automatic transmission fluid, and it has a star and the number 3. And the number 3, if we come down here, it says using automatic transmission fluid other than Nissan genuine Nissan Matic J ATF will cause deterioration in drivability and automatic transmission durability, and may damage the automatic transmission, which is not covered by the Nissan New Vehicle Limited Warranty. So usually Nissan or any other manufacturer will say use this sort of fluid or equivalent. In this case it didn't say equivalent. So for example here it says coolant and antifreeze or equivalent, or AC system type S or equivalent. So they tell you when to use equivalent and when not. And since I'm not a mechanic, I know it might be fine to use any other brand, that as long as it says it is Matic J, should be fine. But in my case, to be sure, I just went ahead and purchased the Matic J, or Matic S in this case. I looked online for a Matic J automatic fluid from Nissan. I couldn't find it anywhere, and looked in the Haynes manuals online. I have a subscription to that, and it did say here 2007 and earlier models use Matic J, and 2008 through 2012 use Matic S. Now my vehicle is 2008 model, but I was looking on the manufacturing sticker here and it does say 2007. The owner's manual says Matic J, so that means even though it says Matic S here for 2008 and above, I should go with the J. But since it's not to be found anywhere, I contacted 3 Nissan dealerships in the area asking them about this, and they all said Matic J was replaced with Matic S transmission fluid. All 3 of them, the same thing. So I went ahead and purchased the Nissan Matic S fluid, which is right here. Also purchased brake fluid and power steering fluid, which I will be doing at some level at some point. But this is what I got. It's the sun is too bright. Automatic transmission fluid, Nissan Matic S. Part number is that, and it is 32 US ounces, which is 1 quart. So I bought 6 quarts, because I don't know, the whole capacity of the transmission fluid is 10.9 quarts, I think. I don't think it will drain it all, because most of it will be somewhere. I was reading online, it will be like 40% of it in the pan. So 40% will be less than 6 quarts. So hopefully 4 to 5 quarts, and I'll have an extra one. So that's what we are doing. We'll just drain it and put more in it, kind of replace that thing in the pan. Now, yeah, I bought this, they call it a flow tool, so this will go under the drain pan. And I also got another flow tool. This is the 20 quart pan. I have a smaller one, but I thought I'll just do the 20 quart one. And before starting, what needs to happen is we need to check the fluid level in it. To do that, you just come down here, and this is the transmission fluid dipstick. There, this one. It's too dark. There you go. And it's usually has this bolt on it, so it's bolted down by this, so that is usually there. So you'll remove it with a number 10 socket. There, number 10. So I removed it already, and I took the stick out to check the fluid. Now the car has been parked for a few days, so it is cold, definitely. Okay. And on the stick itself, you see it says Nissan Matic Fluid J, use only Nissan Matic Fluid J. That's on the stick itself. But since J is not available, I'm using S, recommended by Nissan itself. Alright, so if we look on the dipstick, I'm using one hand here. I already wiped it clean, so you need to take it out, wipe it clean, and then put it back in, and then pull it out again to check. Now, it has been parked for a few days, so that makes it in the cold indicator here. So that is the cold indicator. And yeah, let me put this down here so it's clearer. It looks like it is overfilled, isn't it? It looks like it's overfilled, but I'm not sure if it's overfilled or is it because the car is parked crooked. It's not level, that may be why. So it's right there. That's hot. It's not hot now, it's cold. So I'm going to drive it, take it out to drain it. If you look below, let me see if I can go down here. There is the pan and the drain plug. I'll show you. The drain plug is right there, and it seems maybe number 12 or 14. It's bigger than the 10 I just removed. So it's in the back is what I'm trying to say. This is the pan, and it's not there, it's in the back. So the vehicle being in this, way, it may be good for draining, because it's, you know, all pointing down to where the drain plug is. Once I drain it, I can fill it and then move it to the front of the house at the level street and check the level there. Right now, I'm going to drive it for a minute or two and bring it back and park it in front and check the fluid level again to see if it's still high. Based on this, it seems high, but it's probably because it's not on level service. So that is why. Okay, so that's a long introduction. So what we will do now, we'll drive it and come back. Alright, so I drove it for like 2-3 minutes and came back, parked it here, left it parked for about 15 minutes now to allow the oil or the fluid to drain back into the pan, and check the fluid again. I already removed the stick, dried it, cleaned it, and put it back in and removed it again. So the fluid level, I don't know if you can see it, but Let me. The fluid level on the cold side, it's shaking. Hold on. I need to do this. The fluid level on the cold side seems all the way up, and on the hot side, same thing. So I'll just fill whatever comes out from it. If it comes out, 5 quarts or whatever, I'll just put 5 quarts in it, and that way the level, whatever it is now, it's been working fine, so we'll just leave it at that. Okay. That's the level. In the hot and in the cold indicators, it's all above. So when it's not liquid there, or no fluid there, you see it is nothing. And this is on the other side, it's very clean. But you saw earlier there was liquid all the way up here. Anyway, so we will just fill whatever comes out from it. So now I'm going to move it over here. As you can see, the ground is sloped, and that will allow the thing to drain very well, and then I'll fill it up. Okay, so I'm gonna drive it, park it here, wait another 10 minutes or so for it to drain, and then we'll just do that. Alright guys, so I put the car back and put the stuff in there, and it's been parked there for maybe 30 minutes now. It's already hot outside, it's above 90 degrees, so I don't think it's gonna cool any more than that. Maybe overnight, but that's a long time. So underneath is a bit tight, as you can see. It's a bit tight. That is the drain plug there, right in the center. And let me see, that one there. I discovered it's going to be really difficult to tighten it to specs, which it says it should be 26 foot-pounds of torque, but I don't think I can get the socket in there because it's just too tight. Unless I'm completely underneath the vehicle, then I might be able to, but at this point I don't think I can. So I'm contemplating if I should go ahead and do it or just wait and figure out a way. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and do it, and then tighten it as much as I can, and that's all it goes. Just like the oil drain plug. So that takes size 19 socket, and I've got this Tecton extra long that I haven't used before. This is the Tecton extra long wrench, and it takes size 19 socket, and it is a 6-point ratchet there, so it is going to make sure it's not going to shear or strip the bolt. So we'll go ahead and do that. And I may do that off camera because it's really, I need 2 hands, or at least one, which is the one I'm holding the phone with. So I'm gonna put the phone down and basically remove that bolt, and I'm gonna try to divert it from that beam away into the pan using this thing, but I don't know if this is gonna work, but we'll see. I prepared it anyway. If not, it drips on the beam and then drips down anyway, so we'll do that. Okay guys, so I removed the plug. That was very easy to remove. I don't think it was tight to the specs to start with. I don't know. It didn't leak or anything for this whole time, but I gave it a little tug and I can see the fluid start coming out, so it was not too hard. And then I just used my fingers to loosen it all the way. It was difficult to do with the wrench, so I had to use a socket. And then I used this little plastic piece to divert the liquid, and it's been draining maybe 10 minutes now, and you can see it is down to drips. So I'm gonna stop it. I'm gonna put the plug back in and clean the area. There is some fluid that went different spots, so I'm gonna clean that, give it a good cleaning, and then we'll just fill it. I need to measure how much came out of it to put approximately the same amount, counting the amount that went on the frame here, maybe tiny bit. I want to say maybe 1 or 2 ounces, but not much. So all right, so that's it for this one. I'm gonna clean up and put the plug back in, and we will get to refilling. It's very tight, it's very hot outside. Okay, so the draining completed. It was dripping just a few drops, so I kind of plugged it in and cleaned it. And now the torque setting is 26 foot-pounds of torque. I put it at 27 because it didn't feel tight. And right now I just put 1 quart of fluid in it so far, and let me show you how much it came out from it. So this is not level surface, but it seems like about 5 quarts. And I'm going to measure this after that quart empties, and I will empty other quarts in there, maybe 3 or maybe 4, and then I will measure. I'll put that old fluid in these bottles and see how much it is. And I already marked the bottle to the fill line where they were filled. So this is from the factory, was filled to there, so I'll just fill it up to there, and that will be 1 quart. And after that, once it is all filled up and stuff, according to the amount it came out, I'm going to turn it on, bring it to the street level, and check it again, make sure it is at the correct level. If not, I can add some more. All right, cheers. Okay, so I poured 3 quarts in the fluid, in the transmission fluid reservoir. And I don't think I mentioned, but you fill it up from the dipstick tube, transmission fluid dipstick tube. That's what I'm filling it up from. So I already used 3 quarts, and I came back, used these 3 quarts empty bottles to measure the old fluid. So as I said earlier, I marked them to the fill line from the factory, each single one. So I filled these 3 up with the fill line, and I still had some in there. So before I emptied the 4th bottle in there, I needed an empty one of these. So I used one of these iced tea half-gallon containers. After I measured it here, it was up to 1 quart, so I emptied it in there, and that gave me another additional empty one of these. So I filled it up and up to 1 quart. So now that gives me 4 quarts plus this that came out from the transmission fluid pan. So the pan itself said it was 5 quarts, but it's not 5. It's perhaps because of my unlevel floor, I don't know. But it's a good thing I measured. So that tells me I only need 4 and maybe 4 1/4 of fluid. 4 quarts and 1/4 of fluid in there. But because it seemed like mine was already overfilled, I'm gonna just put 4 and measure again. So that's what I'm gonna do. After I put this bottle in, it will be 4. I'm gonna run it, switch through the gears. I'm gonna go drive it for a few minutes and come back. All right, so I finished up and drove the vehicle for 2 minutes. By the time I came back, it was pouring rain so hard, so I didn't finish it. This was last week, actually, the last clip. So today is a week later. It's also Saturday. It's today number 8. Day number 8. So between that week, that Saturday and this Saturday, I drove it about 800 miles. I went to visit my dad, so I drove 800 miles round trip. So the transmission fluid had a good chance to mix up and be used. So I'm going to measure it again. Now it's running, so I left it running. I drove it for a few minutes, came back. Now it's kept it running. It's on a level surface. You can see on the street. So I'm going to remove the dipstick now and check the level while it's running to see if it's good. So we'll see in just a moment. Okay, so I checked the level, and while it's running, so this is the cold level. It's not gonna focus, hold on. This is the cold level, and you can see it's kind of like at 35%. It's not even in the middle in the cold. Of course it should be hot, so the hot has nothing. The hot has the hot has nothing on there, so that means I need to add some more to it. See that? It's completely dry, so I need to add some more transmission fluid to it, and at least bring it up to where it says hot. Needs to be in between high and low, so maybe in the middle there. So I'll need to do that. I already drove it 800 miles, so maybe that was a bad idea, but it's been working good, so hopefully no damage has been done to the transmission. So all right. Okay, so I added a little bit at a time, 3 times. So it looks like I added I think maybe like 4 or maybe 6 ounce from here, maybe 8 ounce total. I don't know, maybe about 8 ounce if we count from here. 32 to 24, that's 8, give or take. But the level now it's good. I'm happy with it. Let me show you. All right, so this is where the hot level is. Hold on. It's right in the middle, and the cold of course will go higher because it's not cold anymore, but the hot level is right in the middle. So I did this 3 times. The first time didn't even get to the hot. The second time got in the very low level of the hot, and now the third time brought it up to the center. You can see there the marking is right in the center. So I think it's good. I'll just leave it as this, and a little bit later, maybe another few hundred miles, I might do this one more time, drain and fill. I'll add another 4 plus course to it, and that should be good for the next 30,000 miles, which in my case I don't drive it much, so it will be another 4 or 5 years, hopefully continues to run. But yeah, that is it, guys. This concludes this video. I hope it was helpful to someone that doesn't have experience with cars like myself. I'm just trying to get into it and teach myself how to do maintenance on my 3 vehicles, so I perhaps do a good job and save on cost. Now, of course, when it gets too complicated, I can always take it to Nissan dealership and have them fix it for me, and pay them whatever it needs to be paid to get it done. But for simple things like this, I'll try to do it myself. Alright, so thank you so much again for watching this video with me, and if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more videos like this one. Thank you so much. Bye bye.